And now it's time for today's daily forecast with EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martrich.
And good morning to you. It is October 2nd, 2018. For your Tuesday, we're going to have, call it mostly cloudy skies today. We'll have a cold front moving off from the west. This is in association with this area low pressure that is off in the eastern Great Lakes. There's a warm front off to the north associated with this and a cold front back here. And that's going to bring us scattered showers and thunderstorms for mainly the interior areas. And this is going to be later this afternoon and evening. Most of the day is going to be dry, though, however, as you get into the afternoon, or here's late afternoon and early evening, and see some of those storms making their way further east. But the storms aren't going to be that big of a deal as far as intensity, and we're not looking at anything severe today. I don't think we're dealing with anything over maybe a few gusty winds, but just getting to about 30, 35 miles per hour. Not a real big deal. Going to the AM high-res future simulator radar, when we take this through the day here, this is looking at noon. You have some scattered activity across the far northern areas, and I do think that's going to be a theme today, where it's going to be just primarily off to the north. And here's mid-afternoon, and then when we get to the evening hours, this is around dinner time, still in the same areas, and it starts to come down a little bit further, but just as scattered showers. You see a few storms up here in north-central Pennsylvania, basically just showers, or a few widely scattered showers further eastward, and this is just around 8 o'clock this evening, so not a big deal overall. As we get to 11, here you see it starts to wind down and then diminishes overnight. Not a big deal with these storms today, and again, mainly just the northern areas, and especially north-central Pennsylvania, where you can see those thunderstorms occur where they would contain lightning. Elsewhere, it doesn't look like a real big deal. Going forward from this point, the cold front will move through overnight, and then we'll have a partly to mostly sunny day here on Wednesday with high pressure under control, and should still remain on the warm side. Behind this cold front, no cold air to be found behind it. So yes, it's a cold front technically. No, it's not going to do anything to the temperatures. It's probably the same temperatures you see on Wednesday as you did on Tuesday. So pretty much the same thing. Once we get to Thursday, in fact, it's going to warm up even further, and that's because we have this cold front moving in from the west. This is the evening hours, though. It's a little slower than the one that we're dealing with now. A little bit better organized in terms of linear structure. However, this is delayed, so then these stronger storms will be out here in the western part of the state and outside of our coverage area. We'll have to watch the far northwestern areas from like places like State College, Williamsport, out in those areas for perhaps some surviving thunderstorms. But this is going to be moving in at a time when it's already dark, but when the storms come in. So out ahead of this, we'll have some warm southwesterly winds coming in, and temperatures will be in the low to mid 80s on Thursday. So that is very unseasonably warm. For this time of year, typically high temperatures in the upper 60s to low 70s, so that is definitely very warm. Not unprecedented warmth by any means, but it's still very warm nevertheless. And then we move forward from this point. This front will go through pretty uniformly. You see, as it moves eastward, it kind of dies off, so you might have something residual here overnight there, late Thursday evening, and then it dies off, and then that's it. There's nothing to worry about. So you get to Friday, we should go back to partly cloudy skies. This frontal boundary is going to kind of dissipate as it stalls south of the region right down here. So our area here should be basically partly cloudy. High pressure's off to the north right here, so it should help with that drying process and keep us partly cloudy on Friday. Now watch this high here, because once we get into Saturday, it's going to be a little bit different a story. Here's a look at Saturday afternoon. Now we do remain dry, maybe a stray shower. You saw that in the previous image. I jumped ahead a little bit. See that light gray here? Maybe a quick passing shower here, but not a real big deal here on Saturday. Most of the day and in most places it's going to remain dry, but you can see where the high position is right here over the Gulf of Maine. Whenever we have a high pressure in that position, that means we have an onshore flow. So I don't expect to see much of the sun on Saturday. It might be rain, mostly cloudy at the very least, but mostly cloudy to overcast, as what we're expecting on Saturday. Just not a lot of precipitation, if any at all. It's going to be a kind of a cloudy, dreary-looking day, and a little bit cooler as a result. Temperatures will be in the lower 70s here on Saturday, but it does look like most of the day is dry, if not all. And then once we get to Sunday, that high pressure is going to sink off to the south. No longer in the Gulf of Maine. High pressure is going to be east of the area now. That makes a big difference as far as our cloud cover is concerned, because now the flow is coming in from the southeast. Okay, so that still keeps it warm, allows it to warm up again. Very similar highs to what's expected today across the region on Sunday, but we'll also get more sunshine in the area, I think, on Sunday. Still going to have partly to mostly cloudy, though. We're not going to have an entirely sunny day, but you still have a lot more chances for sun here on Sunday than you do on Saturday. Because of the position of the high. As long as that continues in that manner and it moves south of the Gulf of Maine. If you're in the Gulf of Maine, that's a no-go for sun in our area. But if it does move a little bit further south, we'll have the opportunity to see a little bit, at least peaks of sun here on Sunday. And the same thing holds for Monday. It's actually going to sink off a little bit further to the south, and we're going to start getting winds in here from the south, and it's going to really start to improve by the time we get to Monday as far as both temperatures and cloud cover is concerned. So we're going to look at Saturday as the day we're going to target for more clouds than sun, maybe even overcast all day and a little bit cooler. But again, you don't see much precipitation in the next 7 days. Just today with those scattered storms moving in, and it's not really that big of a deal, as you saw in the high res future simulated radar. We're dealing with this again on Thursday, but it looks like it's coming through as a dying front very late. So we're losing that daytime energy, daytime heating, and they're going to be falling apart moving eastward as well. So not a lot of precipitation in the next 7 days or so, which is good. We can take a break from the precipitation, and whatever we get today and again on Thursday should be minor in comparison to what we've seen over the past several months. But the biggest thing is where we should be basically dry for the next 7 days, except for those 2 blips on the radar. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Marchus. That is your outlook for October 2nd, 2018. Have a great Tuesday.